ego to go along with his monstrous ability. And even he gets it. He saw it. He felt it up close and personal. One guy is a 7 or 8, the guy that you say is the GOAT, and the other guy who I say is the GOAT and have said this for decades is a 10. And to me, that all-time slammed the door shut on the LeBron GOAT case, as I call him, the phony GOAT, rated PG as in phony GOAT. And I want everybody today to sit back and almost feel sorry for LeBron because, Shannon, it's been this daily onslaught, this daily bombardment from highly credible sources against LeBron. So let me just quickly hit the highlights, or for you, the lowlights. We've had Dennis Rodman saying that he could shut down LeBron by guarding him because LeBron has a very simple game with no moves, says Dennis Rodman. And that Michael's commitment at any cost, his spare no expense, drive and desire, win at all costs, was something that LeBron has never even thought about having. That from Dennis Rodman. And then we had Charles Barkley ranking LeBron 7th on his all-time list, one spot up from 8th. And then we had Mike Malone, who was a 4-year assistant coach with LeBron in Cleveland, saying that LeBron just doesn't have the killer mentality that Michael had. Duh. That's what I've been trying to tell you for 4 years. And then we had David Blatt, who coached LeBron as the head coach in Cleveland for a year and a half in his second time around in Cleveland, saying that, well, LeBron had to chase championships while Michael stayed and won all 6 in Chicago, while obviously LeBron took his talents to South Beach, then back to Cleveland, then to Hollywood. And Michael said, I'll stay here. And Blatt also took the ultimate shot at LeBron, saying that Michael was more about us, while LeBron was more about I. Well, man, that's from your former head coach. Then we had Tony Kukoc out of left field saying, well, it's obvious to him that Kevin Durant is the best player in the NBA today. Wow. The Michael Jordan of Europe, as he was once called, said that. And then even Kobe, we saw in one of his last interviews, and this one in the documentary, saying, what you get from me is from him. My 5 championships are because of him. Whew. That's a coronation quote. And then Larry Bird obviously had referred after the 63-point game at the Boston Garden in the playoffs, it was God disguised as Michael Jordan. And then John Sally in the documentary said he wasn't human. That's why we needed the Jordan rules. And finally, we had the great Magic Johnson just flat out proclaiming, well, Michael was the GOAT. Wow. That's a lot. That's an onslaught, Shannon. I don't know how you're ever going to survive this because the last dance has been your last dance for your GOAT argument.
Now, Skip, I want you to keep that same energy because you said David Blatt said Michael stayed in one city and won those championships. So I want you to keep that energy because we know one guy that just left after 20 years to chase a championship. So I want that same energy. I want that energy that you just had when you read David Blatt's statement, when that guy that just left New England to go chase championships in Tampa, I want you to have that same energy. Now, I'm going to need that this year. I'm going to need that moving forward. Second of all,
you've got it.
Go ahead.
Because, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, finish up. I want you to hit that one. Go ahead.
Tom Brady obviously got pushed out the back door over the last 3 years by a head coach who wants to prove he can win without Tom Brady. Totally different scenario. Tom would have liked nothing more than to finish in New England. The owner wanted him to finish in New England. The head coach that you call the GOAT coach, wrong, wants to show he can do it with Jared Stidham. Okay, God bless and good luck. So Tom is going to chase championships because he was forced to chase them.
Well, LeBron James would have loved nothing more to spend his entire career in Cleveland. had Dan Gilbert could have brought talent around him in order for him to succeed. Because remember, Skip, in that letter in which he typed up an email or however it got out, he says he will win a title before the self-proclaimed king. So he was going to show that I can win a title without GOAT James. That being past that now, Skip. Now, you said accusation. The owner accused LeBron James of quitting. How many times have people accused Shaq of being lazy, of Shaq of not playing hard? And again, I say an accusation is not fact. An accusation is not truth. That is not an admission of that is being the case or not, Skip Bayless. So we need to stop with these accusations. I hate that. Now, with that being said, if a guy that has 16 All-NBA, 13 of them being first, 16-time All-Star, a 4-time league MVP, a 3-time finals MVP, a 6-time defensive first team, Skip, if that's a 7 or 8 player, everybody else can be no higher than a 6. So Kareem, with 6 MVPs, 6 championships, all-time leading scorer, what is he? What's Wilt? What's Russell? What's Bird, Magic? I just want to know what are they? What are they? Skip, I mean, really?
They're all 8s.
Man, you out your mind, Skip. Like I said, I got no problem. If Shaq want to say Jordan is the best, I got no problem with Shaq saying he believes that Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time and saying that he's a 10. But to say that there's no one close, that's like saying there's no one even close in intelligence as Albert Einstein. Well, Skip, we might not develop the theory E equals M square or develop the H-bomb, but that's entirely different. That doesn't mean that someone doesn't have the wherewithal, the mental intellect. That just means they didn't come up with the formula to develop a bomb. Okay, fine, that's cool. Skip, there are musicians that's talented, but to say, oh, there'll never be a Bach, there'll never be a Strauss or a Beethoven, Tchaikovsky, come on, Skip. Really? To say
Shannon,
there's no one close?
Shannon, in a few minutes, we're also going to get into another topic in which Doc Rivers, now the coach of the Los Angeles Clippers, one of the greatest coaches ever, a championship NBA coach, says that Michael Jordan was the greatest superstar defensive player in the history of basketball. So Doc is saying everybody's missing the point that Michael was at least